Over more on the implications of the German downgrade, I'm now joined by Patrick Young, the Executive Director of investment firm DV Advisors, with us on the line from Poland. Patrick, Germany's been the anchor all along. Now it doesn't look quite so invincible. How bad a state is Europe's biggest economy in, and how's it going to reverberate through the already shaky zone?
Well, I think the situation we have here is we need to take away the German powerhouse economy. That's the business where they make things. BMWs, Mercedes, all manner of wonderful pieces of engineering. Now, that marketplace is not bad, although admittedly there are problems because, of course, there aren't so many people in places like Greece or Italy or France or Spain or most of the European Union who are buying them so much these days. And indeed, there's possibly not such a good outlook on places like China and India as well. Then we have the German financial economy. And you see, what's happened today is we've really heard the truth that I think many in finance knew all along. Banks such as Commerzbank, they built themselves up a huge portfolio where they thought they were being very, very clever by basically buying lots of bonds of places like Germany and, not Germany, by buying themselves bonds of places such as Greece, Italy, Spain. In other words, all the places where now they can't possibly sell their debt because the governments are effectively in huge problems. So therefore, what's happened is, once more, another little layer of the onion, let us say, has been peeled away, and that's examining and showing us that ultimately the euro has no clothes. The European Union is in a total mess due to its 3 years of denial of its economic problems.
Spain's budget minister continues to say that it's Spanish banks that need the help, but the country accounts for some 12% of the Eurozone's output. That's twice of Ireland, Portugal, and Greece combined. Can it be bailed out like others?
Of course not. There's no way Spain can possibly be bailed out. The thing that's disgusting here in this whole situation is the way that all of the politicians have basically left the people stranded. The new government in Spain went into denial mode from the moment they came into office, and 6 months later they've suddenly realised what anybody who was remotely financially literate could work out 6 months ago, 2 years ago even. Spanish banks are bust, and ultimately there needs to be a way in order to manage to rescue them, but the conventional bailout mechanisms are not going to work. And that's why ultimately it's very difficult to see, tragically, whether or not there really is a future to the euro as a currency, because it's a disastrous political scheme rather than an economic engine of prosperity. Rather, it's the opposite. It's putting people out of work rather than putting them in jobs.
And this news from Germany and Spain is overshadowing a bit Greece, of course, which has another election later this month and is largely seen as a vote really on the Eurozone membership for the country. Are the Greeks ready, do you think, to return to the drachma at this stage?
Well, you know, the Greeks are in this wonderful situation. I mean, the Greeks, when you talk to them, on one side they don't want austerity and they don't really think they should have to pay their bills for the debts that have been grown by the government over the years. At the same time, they think they should be in the euro. It's ultimately a little bit like going out and polling a group of 8-year-old children. No matter that they may say that they realise they have to eat sensibly, they're going to demand ice cream and jelly for their next meal and for every meal thereafter as long as they have influence. The problem with Greece is ultimately it doesn't really matter what they vote for in the course of the middle of June because they haven't actually been taking their medicine. The harsh austerity that they needed to have a remote chance of managing to meet the official terms of their bailout package are not going to be met. They're not getting rid of the civil servants they need to get rid of. They're not cutting back on the budget the way that they really need to. Now, there's another argument as to whether that's right or wrong, but the truth of the matter is Greece ultimately is returning to the drachma, I think, whether it likes it or not, because it's completely untenable as a conventional modern democracy. It simply, sadly, does not function as one.
All right, there you have it. As sees Patrick Young, Executive Director of investment firm DV Advisors. Thanks for that.